Good morning, Mark. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, Sully.
Who got the hats off?
Iverson Clement. He joined an exclusive club, Mr. Clement did. He's only the fourth person to get the hat twice, and in fact, he did it in 8 days. So
wow.
He's had a heck of a run here.
You're the president of the Iverson Clement fan club, apparently.
Well, he's a great kid, but I will say that he's just a wonderful running back. Before the season, I met with him, and he was a real joy to talk to. It seemed like he really had his eyes fixated on a championship this year and doing whatever it took. And I think last night he proved that with the performance he put on.
Yeah, big win by Rancocas Valley, 10-7 over Lenape, and you're talking about two of the best teams in the state.
Yeah, you are. I mean, I think we've talked about this a little bit, Sully. South Jersey Group 5 is kind of wide open. But the column I wrote for tomorrow's paper, it's online now, is basically centered on the fact that last year Rancocas Valley had a ton of talent also. I mean, really, they always have a lot of talent. And it just didn't work out. You know, they were the 2 seed. Millville beat Cherokee as the 6 seed in the first round and then went up to RV and kind of took it to them in the second half. And RV, before the season, told me, the kid said, look, man, we didn't communicate. We weren't on the same page. That's going to change this year. Now, you know, Sully, we hear that all the time.
Yep.
Okay? But last night, they proved it. And my hat's really off to RV and the staff and the leaders on the team for changing it. Because there were times last night when things could have fallen apart for them, and they didn't. They just kept standing tall. I was so impressed with RV. Lenape's very good. I don't think they had their best game, but I think RV had a lot to do with that. I think RV kind of bullied them a little bit.
And that's not easy to do, man. Lenape, that's a quality program. So definitely hats off to Rancocas Valley. Everyone knew this was kind of the game to watch in early October, and I guess we're talking to Kevin Minnick of SJVarsity.com, and he said it lived up to the billing. It might not have been a high-scoring game, but definitely one of those games you want to get out there and watch.
Yeah, both fans sections were great. It was packed to the gills. It did live up to the hype, and it was funny how it played out because Lenape, their game is we're going to hold on to the ball. They're not going to big play you. They're going to put together 8, 10, 12, 15-play drives. The drive they scored a touchdown on last night, 16 plays. They converted 2 fourth downs, one of them on the 1-yard line to score. That's their game. And it will drive you mad as an opponent. And RV knew that. Coach Dan Housen said, that's not going to happen tonight. I don't want that to happen. And outside of that one drive, they really rarely were on the field. RV instead held the ball. Clement, 140 yards, 27 carries. This Lenape run defense is very good. So it was impressive to see that from the Red Devils.
Now, Mark, student sections, who would you give the edge to?
Well, the Lenape kids were there about 2.5 hours early.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, they were in the parking lot. It was the blackout game. They all wore their blacks and got a pretty cool picture with them. Stand on top of a convertible. Even the convertible was black, Sully. That's how into it they were. But, RV brings the noise too, man. And on Twitter, I think it's at RV Fan Club. They're always great. They wore neon-colored shirts. I don't know if that was what they wear, or if that was because it was a blackout. They were going to go the opposite way and do a lot of color. But they were great. They throw, like, powder in the air, like LeBron James. They got horns. It was really a lot of fun. I would tip the cap to RV just for the simple fact I was on RV's sideline the whole game. So, I caught them in my ear more so than a lot of people.
Mark, we got to turn you into sort of the Marty Smith of South Jersey football. I want to see pictures of you with the student sections. I want to see the mascot on your shoulders. I want all this stuff. Let's get it going, man. Come on, buddy.
Hey, man, I wouldn't hate that. I love Marty Smith. He's a big Virginia Tech fan. That's where I went to school, so I'm cool with that, man. Marty Smith's a good dude.
I want to see videos of you crowd surfing.
Could happen.
Josh Edding's cracking up over here.
I just hope they don't, they're not crowd surfing me to throw me out of the place. That's all. Anything else I'm cool with.
Mark, some of your impressions on some of the other scores from around the Courier-Post area.
Yeah, there were some big games this week. I think the thing that stood out to me is that usually when we pick the games that are the biggest games, and we pick, our three biggest games are covered pretty heavily. Usually one of them ends up being a dud, maybe two of them, sometimes all three of them. Last week was not the case. Talking about last night, you had obviously the Lenape RV game, Sterling West Defford, a 1-point game that really came down to the end. Back and forth affair. Tom McGurk was there. Read about that on the website. And Josh Friedman was at, Moorestown for the Wilson game. Like Kevin mentioned, Wilson didn't have their quarterback. Still persevered and came through. Just a wonderful night of football.
Now, Mark, the Wednesday night Facebook Live preview show, how's Friedman handling that? I know he's not a big on-camera guy. He's not one of those guys that likes to be the center of attention, but how's that thing go for you?
Well, Friedman's done a very nice job, man. He brings it every week. And I think that he researches so much, to find out what's going on. So he's always prepared, and I'm impressed by that. It says a lot about his work ethic for sure. And the Facebook Live thing, man, it's taking a couple weeks here, but I think it's really starting to catch on because we're getting a lot of questions from people, and that's what we want. Anybody out there can go at South Jersey Gridiron Gang on Facebook. We'll be there Wednesday nights at 7. We want questions. We want to hear somebody say, well, what about Pleasantville? Or what about Shalleck? Or how do you think, how do you break down this game? How do you break down that game? And it's been really fun. It's been a lot of fun.
What's the weirdest question you've gotten so far?
I don't know about that. I don't know if I have an answer to that. Usually the questions are pretty mainstream. I don't know. There's always one that's like, what do you think about such and such, like fan section? Like you asked me, but it's like a team that maybe I haven't seen or something like that.
Now,
know,
Mark, do you pull this move when somebody asks a question and you have no idea the answer? Do you kind of turn to Josh and be like, Josh, tell us your thoughts on this?
That does happen. That does happen. That happens frequently on the show. Josh knows every game that happened, all this stuff, and I'm like, I see something, I'm like, hey, break that down, Josh. What's your 2 cents on that, brother?
Well, hey, man, the guy does his homework, so he knows what he's talking about. So that's always a good thing to have. I don't necessarily have that relationship here with Cole Raring. I can't really throw him stuff because he doesn't know what's going on half the time.
Look, man,
I'm just kidding, Cole.
Let me say, Cole is in high esteem from this reporter because nobody does a better job in the entire United States of talking to me before 10 a.m. Cole gets it. No nonsense.
Wow. High praise.
No nonsense. Me before 9 a.m., 10 a.m., aside from when I'm talking to you, Sully, I'm out of it. And Cole knows that. And he's just like, you ready? I'm like, yeah, cool.
Oh, jeez. Now he's gonna have a big head over here, a big ego, big head to go with that big beard.
Yeah, shout out to Cole, man. The bearded wonder.
He's got a big game tonight. Linwood Panthers on the road take on Vineland.
Oh boy, let me know how it goes. Cole. Facebook Live that sucker.
Great stuff as always, Mark. We appreciate it. We're up against the break. Got to get ready for the Schweimer, Billy Schweimer in the locker room coming up next. So, but always a pleasure talking to you, and enjoy the rest of the weekend, buddy.
Hey, Sully, thanks so much, man, and we'll talk soon.
All right, bud. Have a good one.
You too.
That was Mark Trible of the Courier-Post.